talking about green energy when we all know it's a scam. It's a scam that your rates will go up and you won't have the energy you want. Just look at California, where they had blackouts and brownouts, and now they've lost near a whole city because of the mismanagement and the environmental wackos. You're a wacko if you think that electric vehicle mandates are going to change the climate. You're not just a wacko, you're an idiot. And it's time that we solve for the idiots. And the way we solve for the idiots is you put adults in charge who are not radical, ideological extremists. And the challenge we have here is you've got two of them running the state, Phil and his wife. And they're trying to distract you with the cell phone ban. And you got a couple of guys out there shilling for him in the Democrat Party, trying to get their street cred up with the radical left. Let's all jump on the cell phone ban. It's nonsense. A, it's a distraction. B, it's a bad idea. Let's go to Dr.
I wanted to address with you, and I'll really make it quick.
Go.
Number one, you're articulate, you're intelligent, and your opinion and your thoughts on the cell phone ban is absolutely right on target. However, the schools need to look at this very carefully. Our school has a plan where the students can use their cell phone before class begins. They can use it during interchange. They can use it in homeroom, and they can use it during lunchtime. However, the part that I think you need to realize is that during instruction, during classroom time, they cannot be using their cell phones. So we have these holders, and the kids can put the cell phones in the holders, so it's not there with them. And then right before the bell rings, they can get their cell phones, and it's not a distraction during instruction.
Good, I love it.
That's critical and that's necessary. And this is not something that our school put in place overnight. This is something we discussed over a long period of time from the input of teachers and parents and students themselves.
Right.
The next thing I want to share with you is there's no doubt in my mind that God is on Donald Trump's side.
Yeah,
Why?
I agree.
Because on July 13th, when you had the first assassination attempt, that was the Feast of Fatima, when Mary appeared to the three kids back in 1917. On September 15th, that was the Feast of...
Look at the nuances and say, a knee-jerk ban of cell phones is a bad idea. A nuanced approach that recognizes the kids need to have some connection to home while they're there. God forbid there's some horror tragedy that takes place. You do not want to disarm these kids. And given what the government is forcing our teachers to go through, and by the way, teachers, I know you don't want to teach this nonsense. I talk to enough teachers around the state with 4 or 5 events a day. I can tell you, they don't want to be involved in this sex curriculum and this grooming of kids. The teachers are the heroes here. They need to be
out there. Phil Murphy's wasting tens of millions of dollars on his sanctuary state programs, which could be put into our school districts to improve and help the learning loss. And getting back to the cell phones, another distraction, just like the concerned parents was a distraction. Remember, they labeled them domestic terrorists and extremists. Here's solved real quick. You can put body cams on the cops, put cameras in the classroom. This is not an attack on teachers. It's the NJEA working with Phil Murphy, once again, trying to hide the fact that they have failed the parents and the students in this state. And it's going to continue until some action is taken. It's time to restore common sense back to New Jersey, because the New Jersey Democrats and Phil Murphy have destroyed this state.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right, Mark. And you've served on council, and you've seen it from both sides, being a Democrat and then turning to the Republicans. The reality is that this is the shiny object. This is the puppet to distract the kids during a family portrait session by the photographer. And people need to wake up. It is one thing to say, put the cell phone away. It's another to say that the only way we can handle education is to ban something. A, it's not going to work. B, it's one more reason that teachers are going to get frustrated with the job in New Jersey because of being charged with being policing the classroom instead of educating. It's not the cell phone. It's the lies, the agenda, the distraction of gender, of climate change, of anti-American and racist teachings that they are for. Governor, and thank you for enduring a few of my rants this morning. He gives this speech yesterday, and it's the State of the State speech, and all that's going on as Rome is burning. He wants to ban cell phones in the classroom. Now, I think part of this is to blame the cell phones for the 2-year learning gap that he caused. It's the same thing that when Judy Persichilli, the governor, and the weak Republicans who allowed this to happen, sat there during COVID and thousands and thousands and thousands of seniors died. Our most vulnerable in New Jersey were subject to risky behavior and junk science, and it resulted in thousands of deaths. Other states, like Florida, protected their most vulnerable residents and empowered the healthy. We did the exact opposite. It was a total disaster. Part of the reason that New Jersey got an F- in the final grading of how states handled the COVID crisis, which was essentially a bad flu season, and we all know it now. Part of the reason was that the upper echelon of government in Trenton panicked, scared people, and shut the schools down. Kids were never vulnerable to this. As a matter of fact, most people under the age of 50 were not vulnerable to this virus. But here we are, 2-year learning gap, and now the plan is let's ban cell phones in the classroom, and let's keep the flood of illegals coming in. Let's keep the overpayment to the lobbyists and the consultants and the union leaders coming in. Let's screw the teachers and make sure the teachers have to pull money out of their own pocket for basic classroom supplies. Let's make it harder for them in retirement by never even addressing the pending pension crisis that's coming. Let's do all that. But don't worry, guys. We're going to ban cell phones, so your kids are going to learn now. Really? What the hell are they learning in class? The gender is fluid? That's a lie. No, it's not. No, it's not. Biology matters. That electric car mandates will keep the climate from overheating. Are you out of your mind? Do you even listen to the garbage coming out of Murphy's mouth? So, yeah, I got up a little agitated this morning because I thought, here we go, another shiny object to distract the people. No wonder why, when you look at the off-year elections, most New Jerseyans simply don't vote. Because they're like, you know what, you guys all suck. And look, the past 30 years,